Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of Steady Droppin Dimes, and the crew is back in the house. After 1 week hiatus, was traveling last week to make it down to the Windy City to watch Michigan in historic Wrigley Field. It was, yeah, I don't get butterflies often watching Michigan football, but I got, knees kind of got a little shaky and got butterflies in the stomach being that historic venue. So it's great to see Michigan got the dub. But fellas, great to be back with you. Tyrone Wheatley, how you doing today?
I see you with the Flint Central on. I see you.
Yeah,
Doing well.
had to represent, man, because did the pregame show and Sam Sword showed up. And we got Sam Sword on the show. And had to bring back 1993 Flint Central Saginaw at the Hill. He said, he was like, oh man, he said you playing, you talking dirty now. He said that's the only game in my life I cried over. He said I ain't cry over a game in Michigan. I cried over that game.
Hey,
said, yeah, Sam. It's like,
big game, man.
That's a big game. That's right. That's right. Daniel Horton, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Finally settled after another long day of basketball, so we excited to do the show.
Yeah, man. Wanted to make sure that we got in. Didn't want to go 2 weeks without talking to the people. A lot of topics to get into, pressing ones. We saw a young fella have a great start to the game, tough middle of the game, and then show some resiliency. And Daniel, you guys were great players, supremely confident players who I imagine there were times in your career where you had your confidence shaken, and then you had to find it. You had to rediscover it at some point. And I think we saw Bryce have that kind of moment last week where he was riding high and then had that confidence shaken, and you have to find some resolve somewhere. You got to go in some reserves. You got to go in the tank. You got to find some intestinal fortitude. And that young fella went in the hole and found something late in that game to help his team. I want to get your thoughts on that real quick before we do. Want to thank our presenting sponsor, Golden Limousine. If you find yourself in need of ground transportation anywhere in Southeast Michigan, anywhere in the country, anywhere internationally, and you need to get there on time every time, Golden Limo will take care of you. That's whether it's airport transport, game day transportation, that's individual transport or group transportation. Our friends at Golden Limousine have you covered. We've ridden in their Sprinter vans. We've ridden in their luxury motor coaches. We've even ridden in their luxury SUVs. Every level of transport that you can imagine, they can take care of you safely with expert drivers that will take care of your every need when it comes to your ground transportation needs. And if Michigan can ride on Golden, you should too. That's not just the teams at Michigan. That's Michigan medicine. You drive across the medical campus, you see you see the Golden buses driving around there. And of course, that's across the athletic campus, and the teams, Michigan football team rides on Golden. You can too. Go to goldenlimo.com and book your ground transportation with our friends at Golden Limo. But I was asking you, Wheat, the supremely talented athlete and confident athlete that you are, I know there had to be those moments where, especially early in your career, where your confidence was shaken and you had to figure out a way to find that confidence again. Can you identify? Can you think back to a moment where you had to do that? Because Bryce had to do that in that game last week.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think we talk about practice. Yeah, I'm talking about practice. That's where it happens. Those moments where they will tell you, go back to basics. Baseball, basketball, shooting slumps, hitting slumps, whatever it may be. Those days and those things happen in practice. Do you know what I'm saying? And it happens in the off season. That's where you get it at. And we've been talking about Bryce the entire season about his growth and all these things, right? So when we talk about those growths, he's probably had those slumps in practice, and that's why they were kind of holding him back. But they pushing him through practice, and then all of a sudden you hit through a mark and say, okay, let's turn him loose. And they probably saw something in practice that said, he handled it. He can go through this. And now they probably saw it in practice, and they probably took the chain and the leash off and said, you know what? Let's go. We now understand he can handle these issues. He can now correct some of the issues on the field, on the go, without us, on the coaches being able to tell him how to do it. So that's probably right now where you're seeing the growth and maturation of this young man. And when you talk about, and I don't want to sound cocky, but confidence is never shaken because you push yourself through those moments. So when it gets there, you just say, okay, it's a self-correct. I'm not hitting the mark what I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm not hitting the hole. I'm not doing the things that I'm normally doing, but let me just go back to basics. Let me pull back some and just let me figure this thing out. And now I'm back to smooth selling, and then I'm going. So the confidence is never shaken, never, because it's like the stock market. When it's down, that's when you double down, and that's when you go in and you invest hard. So the confidence isn't shaken. It's just, I know what I have to do to get back to where I need to be.
Daniel?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. As a so-called great player, right, or a very confident player, that confidence never really leaves, right? And I think part of that, as Coach says, in those moments is being able to compartmentalize, right? So, like, no matter, he started great, had a shaky third, early fourth quarter, right? But as a great player, you're able to compartmentalize and say, hey, that happened. We got 6 minutes or 7 minutes or however long we got. Or, it's the under 4 timeout in college basketball. We got to go win this game. I got to be who I'm supposed to be. I'm going to be who I'm supposed to be. Like Coach said, let me get back to the fundamentals. Let me get back to the things that I practice every day. And I know if I do that, my talent and my ability will shine through, and we'll get through this moment. I'll get through it individually, and we'll get through it as a team. So I think he's absolutely right. Managing those moments and remembering what you practice, what you work on every day. That's what gets, great players through those moments. It's not the flash and dash or a lot of those plays are built out of fundamentals. So as long as he remains confident and true, which he will, but true to the things he works on, I think we'll continue to see him get better every week.
Yeah, man. Well, maybe confidence is the wrong word. I don't. Something was shaking. With that first interception, his body language was different. That's for sure. After that first interception and the second interception, Coach didn't do him any favors with the call because that RPO, that safety was kind of sniffing out. It was like the third or fourth time they had run that particular RPO, and the last time they had run it, that safety had tipped the ball, and so this final time they ran it, he picked it off. So and Bryce was already kind of not feeling it. He was already kind of pressing a little bit. I think that's probably the word.
Yep.
And so after that, the OC kind of did him some favors. Like, okay, we're going to stay away from the middle of the field. We're going to put him on the move. We're going to throw outside the hashes. Kind of got in Bryce's comfort zone a little bit more with the calls. So that kind of helped him out some.
So here's the deal. As a player and as a coach, a lot of times the body language, you said it the perfect way, the body language. I can talk to a player and I can say, what in the world are you talking about? What made you do that? And he'll kind of look, and he'll look at the coach, or he'll look at somebody else without saying who he's telling on, but he's telling on who told him that. And you've explained just that. So once again, it wasn't so much confidence that was lacking. It's some calls and some plays that I'm being put in a position and I'm not really comfortable with it. I really don't like it, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. And once it didn't happen, it's like, I told you so without telling you, I told you so. So a lot of times body language is telling on who that person is, right? And so, and Bryce, it has to, and I'm not on the headsets, I don't know. But as the quarterback, sometimes you have to go to the sideline and say, hey, listen, I don't like that. I don't see it. right? And I think that's where his growth and maturation. But when you talk about the body language, I saw it too now, but I kind of looked at it as the body language was not like, man, I'm messing up. It was like, damn, I told you not to. And this is what happened, right? You got me out here looking bad. So that was the body language that I kind of saw. That's what I interpreted. I could be wrong, but that's what I interpreted.
Yeah, okay. It could be that. Well, it definitely was the case that they helped him out with some calls. The defense did a good job of, hey, we got y'all, right? And they went out, got stops, really fired them up as they went out on the field. And then the young fella, Andrew Marsh, who I got to keep shouting out, went out there and made some great plays. 12 catches, 189 yards as a true freshman record. That young fella keeps going out there playing like a vet. That's big time. See that young fella out there doing that.
Yeah, I think a little bit of the body language was also being shocked that the other kid for the team made a hell of a play too. Like as players, when you out there, you playing and you confident, the way he especially on the RPO, he pulled it in through and the safety came down and picked it, or he kind of baited him into it. I know for me, during my playing days, sometimes a guy make a play where you used to being the best guy all the time, like he is, and used to be able to throw through windows and make have the arm talent that he has, right? Sometimes a guy make a play, and you like, damn, that was all right. Like it might shake you a little bit because that's probably never happened to him before. So I think a lot of those plays, he's like taking in data, taking in information, and hopefully we don't see him, make some of those same mistakes again. So, but those guys, I think he's learning right now, especially in the middle of conference play. Those other guys make plays too, no matter how talented you believe in yourself or how confident you are. The other guys make plays too.
Yeah. So it will be really interesting to see if that experience that he had to be like balling, have a period of the game where he struggles a bit, and then show great resiliency and resolve and heart and moxie, whether that hardens him heading into the next game and he can really start this game where like he started the last game where he was playing his best football. That would be great to see against Maryland. But fellas, I really wanted to get into this private equity. Right. And so UC Investments. So the California pension fund, they were looking to get into business with the Big Ten. Right. They want to get a $2.4 billion investment. This would give them a 10% stake in the Big Ten Conference. They would essentially be, if you want to sort of conceptualize it, they would be like a voting member. There would be a new entity called Big Ten Enterprises, where they would have like a 10% stake, and they would have like a voting rights as a member of Big Ten Enterprises, and it would be a 20-year relationship if this deal were to come to fruition. It would extend the current grant of rights deal that goes through 2036. It would extend it by 10 years. It would extend it to 2046. And the payout would be tiered as well. So the top 3 institutions in the Big Ten, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, they would get $190 million. The next few schools, I think it's like USC is in that tier. I think it's like USC. I'm trying to remember the other schools in there. I don't know USC is one of them. I think the next one down is like $150 million. And then it steps down after USC, Oregon, and a couple of others after that, getting the $150 million range. And then there's the lower tiered schools getting like the $110 million range, right? And then there is a percentage payout that comes once they get into future revenue distribution, where they go and Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State, they get at the top tier of the league revenues. I think it's like 5.5% of league revenues per those institutions. I think Oregon and SC get 5%. All the other schools will get 4.9%. And then UC Investments would get 10%, is how it would break down, right? That's how you get to all of the 18 institutions moving forward, Big Ten enterprises, okay? This deal has been paused. Michigan said, hell no, we ain't doing that. You had some members of the Board of Regents who said, one of which was Bernstein, Regent Bernstein, said this is a payday loan. I'm not doing that. You had Regent Acker who said a 20-year agreement. You don't know what the landscape of intercollegiate athletics is going to look like in 20 years. Why would we sign a deal that far out? This is not responsible. They also implied that this is not in keeping with the ideal of intercollegiate athletics. At one point, the Big Ten was even talking about moving ahead without Michigan's and USC, for that matter, Michigan and USC's approval. At which point, UC Investments, they said, okay, hold up. We don't think it's prudent to have a deal with the conference without all of the institutions, especially Michigan, all of the institutions being willing participants. This is not a feasible for us to do. So we rather pause. We rather pause proceedings as they were, and have further discussions about what would it take to bring everyone on board. With that, I want to bring it over to you guys and ask you about how you feel about the idea of private equity, about private money coming into intercollegiate athletics. Is it a non-starter? Do you think this is just a bad idea, just in the principle of it? Or is it just the terms of this agreement? 20 years, the percentages are off. Do you not like the idea, the notion that that there will be the extension of the grant of rights for this would be essentially having 20 years of this current agreement, and that they would have the voting power of all these institutions would be the same. So the voting power of UC Investments, as far as at least media concerns are, as far as we're talking, would be the same for UC Investments and Purdue and Indiana and Iowa and Michigan. We all have the same power when it comes to voting on media matters. Is that an issue for you? So with that, we turn it over to you. What do you think?
I don't know why you gave it to me first. This is
I give it to Daniel. Whoever wants to talk first.
Because this one, I'm gonna put it short. You said private money. Private money is already in football, in college football. It's already there. It's just it's named and termed a different way. NIL, right? Mm-hmm. We had the conversation last week. A couple of weeks ago about how NIL is starting to affect playing time and all these other issues, right? So it's already in football. Now, when you talk about private equity in terms of terms and money and how long the terms are, so let's look at college football as if it was a stock, the NASDAQ, right? So if you take the projection of what it is over 20 years, it's the best investment you can make because it's almost 10%. And so these money people are looking at it in that projection. Do you think they would approach this thing if they did? When I was in school from 1991, just think about Michigan revenue from 1991 to 2025. What has it been? Where has it gone? It's incredible. Here's the next question. COVID. People were passing away, but America still wanted their football. Basketball, they wanted their money, right? They want their freaking sports. So as you look at it this way, I don't think those people will not look at the money and look at the trends and look at where the trends of the money and how it's growing and we're being a part of it. But here's the deal. I think where Michigan and other teams are saying is, okay, I don't think the money is the issue, but you're right. It's the terms. It's the money it's the terms, it's the conditions, and the voting rights. Now we'll give you the other stuff, but wait a minute, I'm not going to give you all that. So with that, I'm gonna just gracefully bow out, and because it's more than.
Dave, what you think, man?
Hey, that's hard. First of all, during economics class, I think I was asleep and dropped it after the first 3 weeks. So, but not seriously. I kind of agree with that. I'm not well versed in all economics of this situation, but 20 years at 10%, I'm not giving anybody 20-year deal on anything, no matter what you say. So you just don't know what the landscape is going to be. It could change in 5 years again. It could change in 10 years. And judging that, looking at the past 25, 30 years of college football, it is going to change again, right? So I wouldn't really want to get in bed with anybody for 20 years and give them 10% of something it's going to grow with or without them, right? College football is going to continue to grow. The bubble's going to continue to grow. Whether the Big Ten takes this private deal or not, I wouldn't. It just says for the people on the other side of the deal. It's a great deal for them, right? So
Yeah.
I would do it, but I'm not. I don't think it's a good situation.
Yeah, so it's a great deal for Purdue. It's a
Yeah.
great deal for Iowa and Indiana and all these schools that are in dire financial straits. I get why they want to do it. For Michigan, I don't like the terms. I am not one of those people that is opposed to the idea of private equity. All right. And maybe I'm an outlier as far as a lot of people at Michigan, a lot of people who are college football fans, because I'm like you, private money is already in college athletics. What do you think booster money is? That's exactly. Listen, I guess we just, the veil has been lifted for us a long time ago. Private equity money is just money where the strings attached, you can see them. They're formal, right?
Yes.
The booster money, that you just don't see the strings. The strings are informal. You don't think that all the money that's been flowing into athletic departments for years, that influence doesn't come with that? That you aren't beholden to that money?
Yep.
Of course you are. Of course that has been dictating how things go. That has how things have been getting done for a long time now.
So what you're saying is Mr. Ross down there has a lot of influence in Ann Arbor, huh?
Come on, man. I was born tonight, not last night. You might as well. Let's have an NIL. So let's go on a tangent right now. Let's go on a tangent. Let's have an NIL discussion.
Let's go off road, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
We will revisit the private equity discussion after we have this NIL discussion, because this is real. All right, we got to get ready, and I'm saying the collective you got to do this. We got to get ready to go into the portal. We got to get ready to figure out how much money we're going to spend in this portal. Now, some universities have the luxury of having collective support, booster support, when it comes to what they can do in the portal. Okay? Now, that collective or booster support isn't finite. it's not guaranteed. That fluctuates. That's it can be flimsy.
Mhm.
It can go with the wind.
Mm.
So it can be as simple as you do what I say, and I give you the money. You don't do what I say, and I won't give you the money. If this team is looking like I want it to look, I give you the money.
Yeah.
So those strings are not.
Team not
Those
looking
strings
like
not visible.
I give you the money. Offense looking like I want it to look, I give you the money. Offense not looking like I want it to look, I won't give you the money.
Puppeteer, baby.
Right?
And
So
you gotta play golf with me 6 times a year.
right. So here's the question, Wheat. As a coach, now I know what they say. Hey, you ain't supposed to have. Coaches got to figure out how to deal with that. How do you go about managing booster support? Now, you can be hard edged about it, say the hell with it. And not every coach is gonna take that tack, because if you want the best players, you kind of need that support. So if you want to realize that support, how do you keep it? How do you nurture it and still coach your team, still run your team, and nurture that booster, that donor support at the same time? How do you split that baby, man? Help me out.
Well, it's like you said, nurture, right? And this is the era. Okay, nobody's wearing bell bottoms no more. Nobody's wearing bell bottoms. So, and that's a terrible analogy, but my point is this: you have to adapt. You have to adapt. So, if you're a coach who is not truly into it, then your GM has to be into it. But like you said, D, you got to go play golf. You got to deal. You got to go shake the hands on the sideline. There's a point in time in life where you have to build in your day as a coach to now meet with these people and speak with these people, because you need that money, right? So it's either adapt or be extinct. You have to. You got to grow into that role. You have to. If it's not your personality, then you need someone on your staff. You need someone who can shake them hands and rub them backs and pat the shoulders and show them all over the place, while you go charge your social salary just to come back and give me a hello or hi or whatever the case may be. Because once again, here's another reason. So I'm going to switch back to the private equity. The private equity is only wanting a part of this because they see the money that's coming in. And I think if the private equity comes in that portion, I think many more people will come in. Many more will come in. Because now here's the play you have to truly understand. As the water rise, so does the water on the other side rise. So like you say, now once Indiana, they want it. Purdue want it. Why do they want it? Because it helped them, right? It helps them. But at the same time, Michigan also elevates on top of elevating, on plus of top of the NIL dollars that you're getting from the collective. The terms is not great for Michigan, right? The terms isn't great for Michigan, but yet and still, that now gives you another chance to go to your collective and say, hey, listen, do this deal through the private equity. Indiana has closed the gate on it. They closed it. They closed the distance on us. We need a little bit more. So you have to continue to, garner those relationships and push those relationships, whether it's in your coach's personality or not. How you do it, that's basically based on them. I'm just saying, for me, if I was in a position where the collective was an issue, my social battery, I would charge it as much as I can, but I would have a right-hand man on my side that is smooth as smooth, got a mouthpiece to hit a Mississippi, and he's bringing it in.
Well, because what I
And
know,
he can drive a golf ball 300 yards.
Yes.
I've been sounding the first alarm that I sounded was a couple years ago, when the NIL money cannon wasn't firing, and I said, if it's not gonna fire for Bryce Underwood, it's never gonna fire. Well, it eventually fired for Bryce Underwood. Then I said, okay, if you think it's gonna keep firing to this level, y'all are living in a fantasy land. And this is why I'm on the, I'm not going to just say no to private equity, because folks who think that this donor support on this level is just always going to be this way. Like, rich people just say,
That's not how they got. They rich.
that's not how they got rich.
Yeah.
and they don't just give when they give to a cause like a building, they give to that building one time, and then the building is built, right? Or when they give to an initiative like a campaign, they give to the campaign, and that campaign initiative is reached, and boom, voila, it's over.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. Ego's a son of a gun. Okay? Ego's a son of a gun. I'm with you, but I'm going to play far to the left on this. I don't like using the devil advocate. I don't like using that term, but I'm going to go far to the left. Ego is a son of a gun. To give to an initiative, to give to a building, but to say Bryce Underwood or whoever this player is Michigan because of me. Do you understand how that feels, right? Okay. That's a totally different ego. Now, you and I both, I mean, there's some people out there with some crazy disposable income. I'm talking crazy disposable income.
True.
Right?
True.
And so egos, like people are buying boats. I'm talking boats, man. They buy stuff just because they're bored. But the sound now say instead of me buying a jet, I can go buy a team.
I hear you, Wheat, but
that's a weekly feeling, that weekly high they get every weekend.
That's the ego.
That, yeah.
The ego is an incredible thing.
Okay, I got you. I'm with you. But once they buy that team, and once they win that championship, now they've done it. The problem is
you gotta keep doing
it. You gotta do. You want them to do it again.
Yeah,
they've already.
They will do it again, and they will.
I hear. Yeah, and they will sound good. That sounds good.
Okay.
That sounds good.
So let me ask you this. So when you talk about the boom pickers of the world, you talk about these folks now, Matthew McConaughey and all these people, right? Why?
Well, because see, when you talk about T Boom Pickens,
easy. I live down here now.
Right, I understand. And T Boom Pickens said he funded the athletic department. They built buildings for a minute, right? And T Boom Pickens has since passed away. Here's the difference between how it used to be and how it is now. You know, you used to have boosters that were given 10, 20,000 here and 30,000 there, but you're asking them to give $1 million here, $1 million there, $1 million here, $1 million there every year, multiple times a year. And this well, and you want this well to never run dry. You asking over and over and over and over again. And I'm not saying that they won't do it for a while, but that fatigue is real, man. And I'm telling you, it's happening in real time.
Yes.
It's an issue for Michigan. It is an issue for Michigan to the point where, like, yeah, they're doing well, but it's not like they just gonna be able to go out and just be like, yeah, I want him and I want him and I want him and I want him. Nah, man, they ain't gonna be able to do that. They ain't gonna be able to do that. So
I know not at 10 million a year. No, that definitely can't happen. I understand that portion.
Are they going to be able to get some guys? Sure.
Yes.
Just like, the notion that you're going to just be able to go out and pick whatever guy you want. Yeah. I mean, maybe if you win a championship every year, but you aren't winning a championship every year.
But what if it's a every 3 or 4 year thing, right? So say Bryce is done after his junior year, or say he stays 4 years and goes pro. Then do you go back and get those whoever those work those same channels to re-up for another Bryce Underwood, right? Like at Texas Tech, they've just picked up the kid from Cedar Hill. He's got a nice NIL. They picked up 4 or 5 defensive linemen out of high school and linebackers, right? Are they going to do that every year, or does that okay? We're going to do it for these 4, then once these guys cycle out, we'll do it again.
I give you a real life example of how you know it's like that. Look at Michigan's linebacker recruiting. Like you can see with linebacker recruiting how they position things. Like if they could pick who they wanted, sure you got your rev share. Your rev share is like your salary cap.
Yes.
Like so you got to recruit as a program. That's your hard cap. Your soft cap is like your collect. They can come in and that's your over the cap money. So if you want to splurge, your collective can do that for you. Well, do you see them? Are they able to go over the cap with linebackers? Because you gotta treat your budget just like an NFL team.
NFL team, absolutely.
Yeah, you gonna spend on
probably more like a European team.
You're gonna spend on corner, right? So they doing the so linebackers. I'm sorry, Coach BJ. You know what, man? You're gonna have to make. I shouldn't even put it like that, but basically, you're gonna have to find you some diamonds in the rough, BJ. You
got 75,000 for a linebacker.
Yeah, you're just not gonna be able to get the 5 stars, BJ. I mean, sorry to tell you.
Yeah.
You may have gone out and recruited some, but that's just how it goes, brother.
Yeah, no, it's like that at all schools, though, Sam.
Right?
Even
but if they were really like you could have who you want, the collective would have come in and been like, boom, don't even matter.
Let me step in, right? So and I know we're talking about the collective, but we're also missing the 2 essential elements of this conversation. A, like you just talked about, budgeting the cap and how you use it, and then development and coaching. Right? You still can go get high-priced guys, but if you don't develop them, and I think you said it earlier, just because you get $10 million or whatever your high price is, doesn't mean he comes in talented. That money isn't going to help develop him, right? So there's 2 essential causes in this thing. So let's look at Indiana. Let's go there. Is there collective near Michigan's? Are they giving those guys is quite what Michigan is giving them?
No, but they're spending some real coin right now. Now I don't know if it's going to stay like that.
No, they're spending some coin, but at the same time, they're spending coin, but they're spreading it out and they're giving it to guys that the coin that they're giving them is more. It's probably less than they would have probably got someplace else, but it's more than they've ever had.
Right. And so here, my point is, I don't know. I can't tell you that what Michigan spent last year is what they're going to spend this year. Like they spent a lot. They had a lot that they were able to get, that they were able to muster, they were able to drum up in collective support last year. I don't know that it's going to be the same this year. That fluctuates. You can't. That's not guaranteed.
No.
You that's going to ebb and flow. Is the point.
But the basic thing is the rule of thumb is save 15% of what you save. So whatever you made, you save 15%. So you can have some carryover left over for next year. You never run that bank dry because, like you said, there are ebbs and flows. You may not get what you had the first year. So you take 15% of that for your mid-year cap, where we're in right now, and then you can fundraise off of that. So it's always a thing of 15%. So once again, it's how you budgeting and how you're managing it. Right? Because I can't, even though I might want to spend this on this person and like your linebacker, deal. So, okay, listen, I have 15%. Okay, well, let's go get 2 guys. Mm-hmm. May not be your top price guys, but let's go get you 2 guys, and they better be better than what we have in the room right now. So now you raise the floor. So your number 1s now become your number 2s, but they may not be as high priced as what you want them to be, but you just elevated the depth and you elevated the room, and you don't spend as much money.
Mm-hmm. I
And
like what you said though. You said you would get you a guy, you know, or a man or a woman whose job it was
a person
whose job it was to listen. I need you to connect with my donor. You're my donor support person. That person needs to know football. You got to know. So it can't just be somebody who kiss ass. You're not just a smoozer. Because donors are just rich fans. Rich fans.
They're the real fanatics.
real fanatics with money. So they're all fans are important, but they're more important. So you need them to understand what you're doing. You need them to understand why things are going the way they're going. Because they influence, they can affect things. And so you need them to understand. Their volatility has an effect more so than the regular fan, right? So when a regular fan think that, oh man, the offense just suck, that doesn't matter as much. But if a rich donor think that the offense sucks, that matters. That matters, right? That has weight. That's a problem. That becomes a problem.
Then you just say, hey, it sucks. So what do we do about it?
Man, I think.
Yeah, I'm about to say, put some more money up. Put some more money up.
But I think you need. I would get somebody. I would have a donor, like an experienced football person who can talk ball, who can really, really talk ball, and who has some charisma, who can talk ball, who can really sort of cut through the BS. And it's not your job to placate and sugarcoat, but can really kind of explain what's going on. Because it'd be a lot of people. I mean, if you just look at social media or you just read the media, it's like a lot of takes that you read. Even media stuff that you see from football people that don't know what the hell they talk about. Some of the stuff I see, I'm like, man, damn, this is just terrible. It'd be some terrible stuff out there, It'd be some terrible stuff out there. So, wow. Yeah. I don't know if you had that guy, but Sharon needs to hire that guy. He needs to hire.
Once again, the NIL hasn't hit me yet. It hasn't come down to me. But, talking to some guys that, I'm not going to say names at some of these major universities, and just kind of talking to them and speaking to them, and some of the things that, because, I did coach in the NFL and talking contracts and those things. And I will always tell them, you're in free agency every year, just like in NFL, but you're in free agency every year. You don't, like some guys, you have to now say, okay, you're in year 1, year 2, or he has 2 years left. He has a buyout in his contract, whatever the clauses may be. But at least if I sign a guy, I have him for 3 years, okay? I have him for 3 years, and I can kind of breathe. Then I have to go to my head coach and go to the GM and say, okay, now, he ran for 1,500 yards. What are we going to do? Well, we need a quarterback, and we need this, and we did this without the quarterback in that offensive line. I understand what we need, but do you want to let this guy go, or do we have to trade him? Are we going to recruit this guy back? The college scene is you're doing this every single year, and you have to figure out who are you going to recruit back, and what is his number. Right? Do you want to let this guy go, or do you want to keep him? And is the price, right? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Because then we talk about the money, and now you're going back to the point of saying, I have to recruit this guy back. Now I have to recruit this guy back. You know what I mean? So now you're getting to recruit your guys back. You got to pay them, and then you want to try and go out and get some more people. So this is the NFL. It is. Mm-hmm. It is. And so these guys have to understand at some point, when I'm talking to these coaches at the other places, the going price for some kids just to take an unofficial visit now is in the upwards of the $10,000 to $15,000 just to get a kid on campus. I have coaches calling me ticked off saying this young man just walked in my office and asked for $20,000. Not, hey, coach, what's off-season plan? How was everything going? He comes in, sits down. I need 20 grand.
Hey, it's a real conversation for Michigan. Like, so I was having a conversation with we do this show on the radio called the MGO Blog Roundtable. And one of the guys was talking about, hey, you got to go spend this money in the portal. But you got to worry about re-signing your seniors first. And I said, hey, bro, you don't just got to re-sign your seniors. You got to re-sign your freshmen. Because guess what? Your freshmen who didn't play, you think your freshmen, just because they didn't play, they don't want raises? I said, oh no, bro. Yeah, they want raises. You don't think that his team's coming for Andrew Babalola?
Yes.
Just he had a knee surgery? Oh no, they coming for Babalola.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think teams coming for Shamari Earls? Just because he hasn't played most of the season? Oh no, bro. They're coming for absolutely.
And that's why I say every year in every position in every class, you have to manage thy roster. Roster management. It's the new era in football in college.
Yeah, man. And so you actually have to go across your roster, and now you got to prioritize. Okay, who am I going to give raises to? Of the guys that didn't play, right? Yeah. And understand that there might be some guys that you might lose. Not every guy.
But I would just always go back to this, and this is one of the things working with Doug Marrone I love, because he would say non-football value. So if you got into an issue where maybe the guy isn't playing enough or whatever the case may be, but what value non-football wise does he bring to this team? Is he a great culture guy? Is he a team guy? Is he all those things? And we will all say, well, but we still need talent. He said, yes, but however, you can pay a guy and he could come in, because money don't change you. It just reveals who you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you bring that guy in and you pay that guy, he can disrupt and dismantle this program all together.
Right. And so Lama Bryant, he says, if we lose Babalola, Shamari Earl, so I'm not saying that they're going to lose. I'm saying Michigan's going to pay those guys. But my point is they have to pay those guys.
They have to pay them.
Because they got to pay those guys. There's going to be some other guys that it's like, hey, you might see some other guys leave because they got to pay those guys.
Hey, Sam, as a guy who played for free and still living with those injuries, I love it. And I got 5 or 6 kids in my program that are going to be Power 4, high major kids. And guess what? I'm going to tell their parents, you better not take a visit for free. You better not do anything for free.
But you
like
see
that's where it is, though. Like, we not know.
But you see why to come back around to the original discussion, why I'm not closing the door. I'm not saying no to the idea of private equity. Like, hey man, especially when I think private money is already here. You're already beholden to private money to a certain extent, right? It's just, what are the terms?
What are the terms?
Now, these terms are unacceptable. I agree. These terms are unacceptable. I don't want to extend the grant of rights to 2046. No, I don't like. See, if it's me, it's not enough to say that if I'm Michigan, that I get more money. Because they got it set up where Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State get $190 million of the upfront money, of the $2.4 billion upfront. They all get 190, then it steps down. I think the next tier gets 150, then it steps down, and the next tier get 110 of the upfront money. And then in the percentage, they get the top percentage. It's like 5.5, and then the next group gets 5, and then the next group gets 4.9. It also has to be, we can talk about the percentages too. We're going to have to work on these percentages. But voting rights. We got to talk about voting rights, y'all. Because I'll be damned if moving forward, we're adding, essentially, when it comes to media matters, we're adding this UC investment group. They're essentially a voting member. And they're say in voting matters. So because there's this notion of, I'm not going to let private equity come in and dictate. Well, they're actually not going to be coming in and dictating. They have a small stake. They're going to have a fractional voice.
Yes.
So they couldn't dictate. I think that is pretty hyperbolic to say. But what is the case is that this would harden the position of the also-rans, of the Purdue's, of the Indianas, the Illinois, the Rutgerses, along with the UC investment group. Hell no. That will not do. Okay, so let's talk turkey. You want to do a deal moving forward? Let's talk about giving me outsized voting power. How about my vote counts for 3 or 4 times the vote of everybody else? Let's talk like that moving forward. That's the world that we need to be living in moving forward. It's not just more money. It's not just a greater percentage. It's more voting power. That's what we need. Because I'm not going to be living in a conference where Iowa and Purdue and Rutgers and UC investments can band together and dictate to me. No, because while it may be true, UC investments can't dictate to me. All of these people, all of these groups together, or these entities together, can band together and dictate to me. So I need some protection against that. Give me outsized voting power.
So what you're saying is you don't want the rabbit to have the gun.
Hell no. Hell no. They already, that's how they were just talking like that. Oh, well, Michigan, you don't want to move. Well, we're going to go ahead and vote without you. They were just trying to do that. So no, if you want to talk about a deal, this is how we going to deal. Or we're going to be talking about Michigan maybe going at it on our own and having being an independent and really controlling our own destiny. How about that? That's how I would be talking.
Yes and no. Going on your own, now you're talking about the fluctuation and the probability of not having the money every year, right? There's a fluctuation. There's that uncertainty. And I'm not disagreeing, because I'm just saying when you're already high and mighty and you try and push that level, I think that's why the rabbit wants the gun. At some point in time, I was always told you catch, more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. You sweeten the deal and everybody gets fed and everybody's okay. You're the top power, so you have to spread the wealth, make them feel comfortable. But like you say, now if you take all the voting power or take the 2/3 of the voting power, they definitely not going to say that.
I didn't say all the voting power. I said give me outsized.
Oh,
so I didn't say my vote count for 9 votes. I didn't say that. But it should count for more than 1. My vote should count for more than 1.
Okay, well, so
the Big Ten without Michigan, you don't get this deal. You don't get $2.4 billion without Michigan. So
right.
Vote should count for more. What I say.
But aren't we already being compensated financially for that?
Yes.
So you want to be compensated financially, and you want to have 3 times the power.
Damn right. Damn right.
God.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, listen to me. I'm telling you, if Sam was president, boy, woo,
Hey Sam,
yo,
you can't take that Flint mentality everywhere, man. You can't. It's a deal, not a stick up.
They can't do this deal. They don't get this deal without Michigan. And again, I'm not saying all the power. I'm not saying, hey, Michigan has the power to determine with just the sheer their own vote the direction.
You just said give us 2.
I said, hey, give me, make my vote count for 3 or 4. Now
but everybody else vote count for what?
I still got to go get other votes in order to make things move. I still got to go get other votes to make something happen. But I shouldn't be over here counting for 1 vote. No, not at all. Man, the balance in this conference is totally out of whack. It should reflect how the financial payout is. 3 or 4 votes is how it should look. That's how.
So here's the deal.
Prop
So
Joe
I give you 3 or 4 votes. I give you 3 or 4 votes, but do we bring the money down?
No, wait, man. What are we talking? What are we talking about here? Why would the money come down?
Because
this deal does not happen without Michigan.
I know the deal, but here's the deal.
Cause is happening.
Here's what I'm trying to get. Here's what, and I'm trying to articulate this. We are Michigan, right? And the deal doesn't happen without Michigan. But just think about it. You have everybody waiting to stick us up any chance and every chance we get. But at some point in time, the true power has to understand where the power lies, and that lies in being a servant leader, right? And so now when you rise these other, you got to make these other guys feel comfortable. And because it's a, why is it called revenue sharing? Right?
I understand. I'm saying, why do we need to make them feel comfortable? Because there's this notion, strange, that Michigan needs the Big Ten as much as the Big Ten needs Michigan. See, I don't happen to believe that. I think,
they don't. And they don't. They don't need them. But it's the same reason why Penn State joined, right? It's the same reason why Penn State joined the Big Ten. And it's the same reason why Notre Dame remains what? Independent. Right? So you take those 2 indices and 2 different powers. But here's what I need to ask you, and be totally honest. Are we built and equipped like Notre Dame?
I think they could do what Notre Dame does. I think they could, especially when you consider, I mean, it's built in now. You have a partnership that is already, the framework of a partnership is built. You see who just bought CBS? Larry Ellison's kid just bought CBS. Right?
That's why I asked you the question.
Larry Ellison's kid just bought CBS. So go get you a CBS deal. Get you frame your other sports around the ACC. Frame your football partnership with Notre Dame and SC, and play ACC schools, and let's go get it, and then see how happy Ohio State will be fine, but see how happy Michigan State is without Michigan. See how happy those other Big Ten schools are. See how they do without a Michigan on their schedule. How happy the rest of the Big Ten. See how much revenue they get without Michigan around.
But we're also talking about one thing, though. This is college athletics. And so if you pull that and you change that, now you change the dynamics of what the Big Ten and what Michigan belongs to and what they live through. You also have like you talk about these fans, right? These fans. I would like to see it. People, they changed the sign of Cracker Barrel and them jokers stopped going. Them jokers changed the sign of Cracker Barrel. They stopped going. They had to change the sign back. Right?
Hey Sam, they say in the comments they say you Nino Brown. I'm saying nah, he more like Prop Joe right now, helping the Big Ten make a deal.
Listen, I think they would get on board. They would still make their money. They still gonna get their 110 million. They still gonna get their private equity money. You still gonna get your money. You still gonna have your conference. You just gonna have it on my terms.
I
My
got
turn.
you, Sam.
My
I got
turn.
you, Sam.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I got you, Sam. I got
You're making it good for you. Everything is good for you. I get why you want to do it. Why am I doing something that's good for you, Purdue? Good for you, Iowa. It doesn't make any sense for me. Why would I do you some favors? That makes no sense. Your financial reality is not mine. What's good for you is not good for me. What's good for me is good for you.
Well,
That's
Sam,
the difference.
but Sam, the one thing I've noticed and grown, even when I was in this deal, even in the NFL, when they start talking about the collective bargaining agreement, when they start talking about ownerships and all these things, and the one thing about sport that I've started to understand more and more, and now that I'm a coach and just truly understanding it, is this is the only place in any business where we need rivalry. This is the only place where I need my competitor to be strong. And then that's the only thing I'm saying is I'm not saying give them the upper hand, but I'm just saying you got to feed them. They got to be worthy.
Is Rutgers
right?
How strong is Rutgers right now? How strong is Purdue right now? These programs aren't strong.
But if they are strong, doesn't it make the conference better?
And I'm
going
to make them stronger. My deal is making them stronger. And like I said, see, my premise is what's good for me is good for you. My deal makes you stronger. Your deal doesn't make me stronger. That's
now you done went from Prop Joe to Marlo. Like you just gonna tell these people like get under my wing and whatever's good for me, it's gonna work. It's gonna trickle down. It's good for you
no,
too.
Sam,
like,
trust me.
Like, come on, man. You can't
my
do that.
tide lifts your boat.
Yes.
Your tide don't do nothing for me. The tide that lifts your boat don't do a damn thing for me. I'm just, come on, man. That's why I'm saying they talk about this deal and it's gonna help. And man,
so the private equity deal, I do agree with that, but I'm just saying, how can we sweeten the deal where it's good for everybody? And what you're saying is, give me 3 votes plus the money.
They still get their money. They still get their money.
But what about their votes?
And they still, if they all band together, they still got me. They still got me.
But I just want 3.
I still gotta go get help. I still gotta go get votes. So I can't act unilaterally. I still gotta go get support. But my point is, I shouldn't just be one vote over here. I should just have to go.
But Sam, this is what I'm saying.
I have to go get a few.
Right.
Like
but here's what I'm saying.
Ohio State and Penn State should be able to band together. The big schools should be able to band together and be like, hey, all right, all the little schools shouldn't just be able to go and push us around and the little school initiative going to determine what happens to the conference. That makes no damn sense.
No, it doesn't. But I'm just using the premise of you catch more flies with honey. Instead of trying to go figure out and go try and get some votes, you make some allies.
It should be. It should be like, I mean, look at the United States. You see how your you see how they do representatives and how imagine if the country was if Rhode Island had the same number of representatives as Texas. Come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, does that make sense to you?
Sam, I know what you're saying, Sam, but we done took it. We done.
I'm just saying. It doesn't. It doesn't. And this
Like it's
is the
just
same
it's how do you operate, or how do you like we just asked, how do you come to a deal with other members
I
if you
understand.
if you walk in there and approach it that way, right? Like how can you
That's why I
reach a
said
deal?
representatives. I didn't use senators. That's why I didn't say senators. Robert Bryant.
How do you how do you come like are you being a good partner, member partner, or a good member if you're that's not operating in good faith? Hey, I want my vote to count more. That's 3, and we get more money. We get everything is gonna. But like yes, I hear what you're saying. As a Michigan person, I would love for that to be the case, right? But is in the art of making a deal and negotiations, that's a hard stance to. That's a pretty strong stance to take.
Yeah.
See, from the saying of the old proverb, the enemy of my enemy is thy friend. You just got the enemy of my enemy, and now it's all enemies.
No, I don't want also Rands dictating my fate.
What you call it?
I don't want athletic departments in dire straits dictating direction.
Mm-hmm.
Their financial reality is not mine. And that's kind of the issue right now. They're trying to dictate direction with a different set of financial facts than the one.
So okay, let me ask you this. So I the word dictate just kind of hits me real quick. In what way are they trying to dictate?
They were just trying to have a vote. It's like, okay, Michigan, if you don't want to get on board.
So wait a minute. Is that dictating, or is that just saying, hey, listen, you are Michigan, you don't need this? Well, then go on and be. That's not dictating. That's just like saying, hey, brother, you don't want to play nice in the sandbox.
No, that was Michigan's reaction. Michigan's reaction was, okay, well, if y'all decide y'all want to do this without us, well, when the granted rights are up, we going to explore independence. Michigan said that in reaction to them saying, well, if you don't want to get on board with this, then we're going to just go ahead and vote on this without you. You out your damn mind. Purdue has the unmitigated, in Illinois and Iowa, and Rutgers has the unmitigated gall to tell me, Michigan, what I'm going to do, what kind of financial deal I'm going to make, when the money you getting right now is because of me. You got to be out your damn mind. This is a joke. I mean, come on, man. And that's why, like I said, I'm willing. I'm willing to proceed.
Yes.
I'm willing.
As long as you're willing to proceed.
I'm willing to proceed. I'm willing to stay. I'm willing to stay in this family, but not under these. Not in a position where you can try to do this again. We got to change these terms. If we go forward, then there has to be some protection against this. Yes, I'm on board with I'm not against the private equity. Yes, I like that you concede that I should get more money. That's only fair. Yes, I like that you concede that the percentage should be bigger. But you think your vote should count as much as mine? In what world? In what world should your vote count as much as mine? Give me a break. Why? How? Why should your vote on this deal count for as much as mine when your financial situation, the financial facts guiding you are different than mine? Your financial circumstances are different than mine. So the premise that you're using to make your vote and the financial premise that most of you are using to make your votes are not the ones that are that apply to me. Why should that affect me?
It shouldn't affect you. And what all I'm saying is make the votes even. Make them even. That's all I'm saying. Make them even. Nobody should have one way more votes than the other because now it's a true even playing field. So then that's when you say, I got to go make what? Friends. I got to go talk to Ohio State. I got to go talk to these other schools. And now that's where it's at. I just say make the votes even.
All I'm saying is it may be the case. It may be the case that I can't get enough votes to represent my position, right? There may not be enough programs in the conference that identify with my financial circumstances to move my initiative forward. But there should be an opportunity for me to forward my initiative. But so as it stands right now, I would never get my case across.
But then that's the case.
With just one vote.
But that's what
I should at least have a chance.
But that's where I brought up the reason of if that's the case, then be Notre Dame.
I'm fine with that. If you're telling me that I don't have a chance to ever have my interests be represented, then yeah, I need to go be Notre Dame. If I only count for one vote, then you're telling me I'll never have my interests represented. And the same for Ohio State.
But because your interest is so far and beyond and beyond everybody else's that you need to be independent. You can't talk to them. You're on a different level. So your initiative, like you said, to move your initiative further, they got to get to your initiative. So just like you looking at them, what you're voting on don't affect me. And they looking at you like, we're trying to get to where you are. So what you looking at don't affect me. But you said my boat rises my water rises your tide, right? Not always.
We in the same waters.
Not always.
And so all I'm saying is I should have an opportunity to lobby a couple of other schools whose vote count like mine, and then a couple of schools on the Rutgers level who might understand that what's good for me is good for you. If Michigan does well, guess who it helps? It helps every school in this conference. Maybe they don't get it. Maybe they don't understand. And then I'll lose if they don't. But again, I should at least have the opportunity. And the only way that I will have that opportunity is if my vote counts for more than theirs. That doesn't guarantee my initiative getting across, but it at least gives me an opportunity. So my vote should count for more. That's my point. So again, that would be my argument. I need more money. I need a greater percentage, and my vote needs to count for more.
And Sam, I understand you 1,000%. I'm with you. All I'm saying is with that thought in mind, guess what they're going to do anyway? They're going to go against you anyway because you already have more money. You already have more votes, so they never going to vote your way anyway. All I'm saying, Sam, is, damn it, let's go. Just make some allies, man.
Sam don't want to make any concessions. Everything.
Let's get some allies, man. God dog.
I still got to get allies. I still would have to have allies. I still would. So anyway, I think we have put it forth. I'm gonna have Warde on tomorrow. You know, he's coming on the morning show. I'm actually gonna be streaming this as well on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So if you're on the MichiganInsider.com, I will put an embed on the site. If you're on the YouTube page, like a lot of you are on the Facebook page, you'll be able to see it on there. If you miss it live, don't worry. It will live on the YouTube page and on the Twitter account. And so you'll be able to see the replay. And you'll see what Warde has to say about it. He's I think he's more diplomatic. I think he's taking he's representing Michigan, but he tends to be more diplomatic with his colleagues than me. That's why I'm not, I think y'all kiss my ass. Go tell me. We gonna go ahead and
hey man, we be at war just fighting everywhere, man, just all the time. Like God dog it.
I'm talking about 11, 12 other institutions been catching strays this whole
Hey, man,
conversation messing with
I like.
Sam.
I put it like this: there is opinion and there's say, right?
Yes,
Most
absolutely.
of these schools have opinions. There's only a few schools who have say, or at least should have say. Like, you gotta be I'm like, man, I'm looking around, like, for real.
Hey, so let me ask you a question, Sam. Let me
When
ask
do
you a
we get a
question.
vote? Your vote is my vote.
Hey, Sam, let me ask you a question. Monopoly, that's what you're talking about. That's what you want. You want a monopoly, Sam. That's what it is.
Hey,
It's a
man.
rule against that, isn't there? Isn't there a rule against a monopoly?
Hey, I just remember, you remember all these same schools was ready to lay the hammer on Michigan a couple years ago. And it, don't let they want to act like a league now. And these same ones be ready to drop a they want to exercise brotherly love when it's convenient. When it ain't
I get it.
convenient, like, hey, you need something from you need their support. No, they don't have you back then. Like, come on, man. Anyway.
Boy, I got you, Sam. Love you, brother. I know. But listen to me.
Man.
I understand. Trust me. I'm gonna just say this from the bottom of my heart. I understand, but for me, it's always looking at, how do you build that olive branch? How do you put that forth? Because when you are in dire straits and when you are, it will be great to have somebody to come to your aid, to come to your need. But even when I'm gonna just go back to when I was being recruited, I said, I think I'm going to Michigan. You going to that pompous place? And so there's always a stigma, and to carry out that stigma. So it's just like anything else, man. They want to get you. They want to get you just because of who you are. But at the end of the day, I think there has to be a play on us to where we are uplifting and rising, right? Those around us. If we're not in that play, then let's go be independent.
I hear you.
Say, let's go be independent.
That might be the play. You said it right. I mean, maybe the terms that apply to Michigan can't be met by a league at this point. Maybe they can't. I happen to think that they can, because what I laid out, still they could overrule Michigan. Even with what I laid out, they could overrule me. I'm just saying I should have an opportunity. I should have an opportunity to forward my initiative. And the what's laid out now, I would never win. I would never be able to get my position across, ever. So anyway, that's a show. That's a show for you. Be sure to check out my one-on-one with Warde tomorrow, 9 a.m. If you missed the live, of course, it will live in perpetuity on the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter accounts, and of course over on the MichiganInsider.com. I got to shout out my man Wheat. Wheat had, and of course, he has his full time. He's coaching the team all day long. He has his family that he obviously has to give his attention to. He had a conference call tonight with the GLIAC conference, and he still made his way on Dimes tonight. Man, that's love right there. That's love right there.
Appreciate you.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
no, we appreciate you. Somebody was like, "Hey, I just appreciate you for." He said he appreciates you for recruiting his cousin AJ Dillon. He said you recruited my cousin. Here he is.
Hey, let me tell you something. That one still hurts me.
Yeah, he swears it.
I had Dillon committed. He was committed. But that one hurts me still to this day.
Yeah,
Quadzilla.
yeah, that's a ball player. I can't find who said it, but he said, "Yeah, my cousin AJ Dillon. Here it is. Greg Guest. Shout out to Coach Wheat. I think he recruited my cousin AJ Dillon.
I did. Connecticut. Went out to Connecticut and got him.
Yeah.
I had him committed, and things happen. Things happen.
Yeah, Wheat can spot talent, boy. Talent. So
I had a couple other guys, but that's for another show.
Things happen, man.
Yeah.
Things happen. So, at any rate, we love you guys. Thank you for supporting Dropping Dimes. Hope you took a lot from this one. We try to bring you something that other shows don't. Give it to you real and raw, like we did tonight. We're going to do it again next week. Until then, thanks for watching another edition of Steady Droppin Dimes.